Good morning. It is time to start rotating your crops. Here in the south, it's okay. You can still wait a little longer, but most places you want to go ahead and start rotating them crops to fall crops. And we're going to do one place today. Yep, we're going to work on this raised bed right here. As you can see, we have pulled out all of the carrots. We have loosened up the soil. And we're going to plant some spinach in here. Now, I don't know how many fall crops we're actually going to plant because I don't really like a lot of the greens and stuff. But we're going to plant some. And like I said, we're going to plant spinach right here. We have that bed out there. It's still producing. We have this bed over here that's still producing. We have the bed in the chicken yard that is still producing. So we are going to start working on turning them over. Mark is out in the field right now trying to get those morning glories under control. If you don't let them bloom, then they don't come back. Supposedly there's so many seeds still in the dirt though. So yeah, first thing we did is pull all the weeds and go through the soil and loosen everything up. Next thing we're going to do is open this pack of seeds. Now there's people that follow the square foot garden method where you sprinkle your seeds around in little holes that have been specifically placed by measurements of a little grid. But we are just going to do this. It's very scientific, isn't it? This is a fall green. This is a green that is edible. These seeds are large enough that you can see where they are. So we're just gonna sprinkle them around. And guys, today is the perfect day to do this because guess what it's starting to do? It's starting to sprinkle behind me. So these seeds will get wet and they will stay wet. Now that's the important thing when you're starting seeds, even moisture. Once the seed gets wet, it needs to stay wet until it sprouts. So do not let your bed dry out. You don't want it to be soup either, but you don't want to let it dry. So we're just going to keep sprinkling these seeds in here. Spinach is something I will eat. I drink a lot of smoothies and eat a lot of salads. So that is something I will eat. All right, that's all of our seeds out. Now what am I going to do? I'm just going to come through and I'm going to pat all this down. I'm not going to do a lot of dirt disturbance because I just want seeds to make good contact with the soil. These are small seeds. I don't want to bury them. I don't want them to get lost. They need a little bit of light. So we're just basically patting them down, making sure they are good contact with the soil. Walk around to this side and do it again. And see, I can still see some of these on the top. I mean, so you can move a little bit of soil if you want. It's not, if you bury them too deep though, you end up with plants that don't come up. So just keep that in mind. And the smaller the seed, the more important that is. All right, there we go. All right, so first fall crop is planted. There you go. We'll be back with something else. I've been in here organizing, straightening, redoing. There's so much that goes on in this one little room. We do painting in here, we make jewelry in here, we do all sorts of crafts in here, but we are excited about one of the things that we just got in. I've already took it out of the box, or I would do an unboxing for you. But what we have is this. What is this? This is this. It's a sublimation printer. So we have been working on our logo and everything, and we are going to be doing some t-shirts with our logo on them. So yeah, we are excited. Y'all come with us on this journey as we create some merch for our farm. Yeah, I'm not a big person about merch and stuff, but we are excited about our logo, and we definitely wanted to share it with y'all. One of the things that I was told by my sister was in one of the videos where I was doing some canning, I needed to have an apron on, she said, because the mic placement on my shirt was odd, and if I had an apron on, then it would attach to the apron and it wouldn't be a problem. Hence, the idea of a logoed apron was created. So we got big into trying to figure out the best stuff for it and everything. I had already been toying with the idea and wanting to do it, but we actually got serious. Let me show y'all what we have. So like I said, we have the printer already. So come over here with me. What's the other thing we have? I'm excited. I love my coffee, and I wanted logoed cups. So I have some cups to sublimate on, and we have some apron blanks that we're going to play with. This is a poly cotton blend of an apron, I think. Haven't pulled it out. As you can see, it is shrink wrapped very nicely and vacuum packed, and I don't want to mess with that yet, but I got to get everything set up. And then we have these wooden blanks that we're going to toy with, putting our logo on for Christmas ornaments and things like that as well. We have coasters and car cup coasters and key tags and mouse pads, and we are excited to be able to offer some things with our logo on them. So y'all stay tuned. All right, let's do today's video. Bye guys. What is another thing that we can do at this time of year when we're transitioning from summer to fall, especially here in the South, because a lot of our stuff is still producing? We can save seeds. Let me show you something. So I don't save a lot of seeds because I sell plants. And when I'm selling plants, I want the exact variety that I'm growing. But when we harvest seeds, now this is an older pepper, so that's what the black is. But we don't harvest our seeds from the green bell pepper. We harvest the mature seeds from the red bell pepper. We don't harvest seeds from the green banana pepper. We harvest the seeds from the bright yellow, after it's ready to harvest. Now, why don't I save seeds? I don't save seeds because I plant more than one variety of things, and things cross-pollinate, so therefore when that seed comes up, it's not exactly going to be true to the parent. Yeah, so my garden, we have, oh my gosh, 15 varieties of tomatoes planted all right next to each other. Cross-pollination, yeah. We plant bell peppers beside banana peppers, beside jalapenos, beside chili peppers, beside cayenne peppers. They're all in the same spot because that's where they grow the best. So I can't save seed from that. Now, for myself personally, I really don't care if it's a bell pepper or a banana pepper or some sort of mix in between, but the person buying the plant will care. Yeah, so I don't save seed for that reason, because of cross-pollination. Now, we save seed from our okra because we grow one variety. We save seed from our watermelon because we grow one variety. And if we grow another variety, it's in a totally different spot, 5 acres away. Okay, that way cross-pollination is not happening. Corn, varieties need to be a mile apart to save seed from corn. Or they need to be tasseling and pollinating at different times, which is hard to make happen as well. We save seed from our beans. We use rattlesnake beans. That's pretty much all we grow, which is a pole bean because I don't like growing on the ground. I hate bending over to pick stuff. I'd rather stand up and pick it. I'd rather put that work in at the start. So that is just some of the stuff that we do save seed from. Oh, and we save seed from our field peas. So when you're thinking of saving seed, you want seed from the ripe, mature fruit. You don't want it from the squash that is still good to eat. Okay, that's not a mature seed. You want the mature seeds from the peppers that have changed colors, because a green bell pepper will change to red or yellow. So keep that in mind, guys. So make sure when you're gathering your seeds, you're getting it from ripe fruit. All right, we'll talk more later. Bye, guys. All right, Mark, top 5 crops for fall winter gardens.
First one will be greens. Second one will be lettuce. Third, I don't know how to put, yeah, the winter peas.
Sweet peas.
Yeah, sweet peas.
Them that don't like heat.
Yeah, then I guess you could say the onions and garlics will be 4.
And 5.
That most people can do.
Carrots.
Yeah, carrots.
Carrots are sweeter in the winter than
Yeah.
we've grown in the spring.
True. That is true.
So number 1 is greens. Talk about them greens.
Well, you have a bunch of varieties. You have the turnip greens, the collards, you have the rape, the kale, the baby spinach, I guess you would call it.
There's also giant spinach.
Giant spinach and mustard. Cabbage probably more in with the lettuce, wouldn't it?
No, cabbage is green.
Okay. So cabbage.
Oh yeah.
What?
Go ahead and add lettuce in here.
Okay.
Even though lettuce is not as frost hardy, because broccoli and cauliflower.
That's true.
Forgot all about them.
That's true. That is true. So there's some crops that you could, typically you want to plant them in August, September. We're in a zone 7B, maybe 8A. I think that's fluctuating.
Depends on which map you look at.
Yeah. But they're a very good sustainable crop to have. Also make a very good cover crop that you could till in your spring, summer gardens, because it's adding organic matter back.
Feeds wildlife too.
Feeds wildlife. And the good thing about some of the greens is you can harvest them with a scissor or a knife and they start growing again.
Yeah, just harvest leaves, don't harvest
That's
the
right.
plant.
And so you can get several eatings off of them.
And then you got turnips that have the root.
Yeah, make the tuber in the ground.
You can use it in place of or with potatoes.
Yeah. Use them in potatoes.
Roast them, mash them. Yum.
Right. Sugar beets. You know, I ain't never growed them. I don't know how are they a summer crop or are they a winter crop?
They're a fall and spring crop.
Okay, so that's another thing you can think about.
But 1 is greens and lettuce. And 2 is going to be broccoli and cauliflower. More broccoli though, because cauliflower, unless you get the self-blanching ones, you have to do a little bit more work to.
That's a couple
And
crops
Brussels sprouts.
I never have food with them much. It seems here that the insects just wear them out so bad. I know people have been successful with them, but I don't know what you really need to do to get them.
You have to
growing.
tint them early.
So greens would probably be number one on the list if you really want to call it number one, because there's just so many varieties and they all do well. And also they get sweeter after frost.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what a lot of people wait for, is frost to happen. So hello, sister. She wants to be on camera too.
She's always on camera.
So let's go to our
Sitting
second
there.
one, lettuce.
No, second is broccoli and cauliflower now.
Oh, okay.
Lettuce is a green now.
Okay. Well, I guess we need to go to our third one then.
Yep, that's the peas. English peas.
English peas is something I don't have a lot of experience with.
We grew them that year.
Yeah, we grew them and
They did good.
they harvested it. It's something that I've never had experience with much, just because of living here in Alabama.
Well, they are definitely a lot more susceptible to like powdery mildew and stuff.
Right.
They don't like hot and humid.
Now, most of those though you can't plant until what, about February?
No, you can plant them in fall.
You can.
Yeah, because in fact they do better growing in fall because we don't get hot as quick. We're cooling off in
True.
fall, so they last longer. Whereas if you plant in spring, you know, we have what, a week of spring
Right.
before summer hits.
Now, on
It's
the
a joke,
thing
guys.
on the winter peas, English peas, what we call them around here.
Sweet peas.
I think they do need to be up on some type of trellis.
They
don't
do. They do
That's
better on a
something to remember.
trellis.
But you can go cut you some cane poles. You can go get some of those cattle panels from like the feed stores, from like Tractor Supply.
You can run a line and drop a
Yeah,
wire off
There's
of
all
it.
kind of ways. You can go cut hedge bushes. I mean, I've seen my daddy do that. But so that's another crop to look at. Of course, they're protein and carbs. You need more carbs in the winter.
And you need that vitamin C that's in the greens.
True. So there's some good health benefits to it. Also, the English pea is like the other peas and beans. They are a nitrogen fixer. So there's something putting nitrogen back in your soil for your summer crops that really like nitrogen. And then our onions and garlic.
Number 4.
So you talk about that because
Okay.
that's your thing.
Yeah. Onions and garlics, number 4. They have their usefulness in seasoning things, and they do better growing in the cool temps as well. In fact, we plant the onions and garlic probably in late October, 1st of November, to where they have the cool season to establish that root and everything. They don't seem to be hurt by the frost either. I have never lost any to the freeze that we get through the winter either. So they also though need probably to be in the raised bed, but we grow them in the ground as well. They just like that very loose, fine soil for the development of the bulbs. When you are growing onions, if you're waiting till November to plant them, you want to go ahead and get onion sets versus onion seed. If you're doing seed, I would probably say go ahead and maybe start planting those seeds pretty soon. That way you have onion sets to plant in November. Garlic, 1 clove per spot, because that 1 clove will make the whole bulb. Yes, you can use store-bought garlic to do it. But there is companies, I like Filigree, excuse me, for my garlic. I'll have to order some new. I should have already had it ordered, but I haven't gotten it ordered yet. So you want to be going ahead and getting that in to where it can be planted soon.
Yeah, most of this stuff you do want to get a little start before frost comes in, if you can. That way, I guess it gets a little tougher.
Yeah.
That way,
Gets the root established so it can make it before the freeze.
right. So So right now, this month, September, is the time to get that type of stuff in. It's just ain't nothing like a good smooch in the morning. Ain't it?
And then number 5.
Number 5, what was it he was talking about? A while ago you had lettuce as number 5, then we flipped
Yep.
it. So what was number 5?
Lettuce was number 2.
No,
We already said carrots, didn't we? No, we hadn't said carrots.
we didn't talk about carrots.
Carrots and beets and radishes. So carrots, when you plant them in the fall, they have a sweeter taste to them than carrots grown in the spring. Something about the heat for our area changes the flavor. Radishes are a quick crop. They have such a good fast turnaround, it's not even funny. And beets are one of the healthiest root crops on the planet, I think. So if you can stand the flavor of beets, they are very much worth planting.
Sister, you got anything you want us to plant?
Chicken nuggets, Daddy.
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets. Plant me some chicken nuggets. All right, what
What all
else?
the ways can we plant them?
Well, you can plant them by seed or by transplants. In our area, if you want to start seed, you want to start them seeds in the house because they sprout in cooler temperatures. Most of our stuff we have to sprout inside or by transplants. The turnips and stuff like that, we throw out seed. We've had pretty good luck with that. But if you have a full sun garden, you might want to see if you can find a part shade type area. Where we get the best luck is over on the other side of the chicken yard, behind the greenhouse, because it gets a little bit more shade and stuff. It seems like it's a cooler spot, so it sprouts very well over there. Our front garden didn't sprout very well last year. It was hit and miss on a lot of things. The turnips and the collards come up well, but the spinach and all that didn't grow very well from seed in that garden. Spinach didn't grow very well last year at all. So by seed or transplant.
What do you think is the best method of planting as far as raised beds, the box beds, or out in the just traditional root crop?
Both. If you're doing carrots, radishes, beets, you probably want to grow them in a raised bed because you want loose soil for good root formation. The turnips, yes, it's got a root that, a tuber that you can harvest, but it doesn't seem to be affected by being in the ground. But I would say raised beds for anything that's got a root crop, with the exception of turnips. Cooler spots to grow, especially in our area. Now, if you're zone 6 or something like that, you probably won't have a problem anywhere you plant your stuff. Our area, we're still hot, humid, and buggy. So,
Also, probably don't want to plant them in a place that stays wet a lot
no.
because, especially anything that's underground tends to rot.
Yep.
Yeah, I know we grew the spinach that time over here in the box, and it done good. And you
It
grew
did.
the lettuce
And
over
we
it done real good
planted
too.
some spinach in there this year. So
And you
I
growed some
planted by
carrots in
seed.
there.
I didn't do transplants, but I need to put some seed in the greenhouse or in the house to sprout.
Right.
So I don't know if this is going to come up or not, but I showed that earlier in the video or later one. I can't remember.
Right. There's all kind of ways. I mean, you could do pots. We went and got some of those cattle feed pans they use out in cattle fields,
The
cattle
big
pastures.
tubs,
Yeah, they
sweet
put sweet
feed
feed
tubs.
in. A lot of people have them. You might have a cattle farmer close to you that's using those. He might even give them to you if you go buy an ass nice, or offer him to pay him a couple bucks a piece for them.
If you have rabbits, mix the poo in with the soil,
yeah.
fill them up.
If you do get those though, be sure to drill holes in them. Water can drain out, or set them up on a brick or something too. That way water doesn't sit up under it.
Key thing about planting in pots and containers and raised beds Takes more water,
True.
so keep that in mind.
There's some people that's doing very successful with that type of growing in greenhouses and stuff. So it's something to look at if you don't have a lot of room on your place. We've done the row crop system with them, where I planted them in a row last year. They done pretty good. The turnips and the mustard and some of the other stuff done pretty good. So there's a crop that very useful for a lot of things. So if you have any questions or anything, be sure to send us a message. Give us a subscribe, a like, hit that notification bell, share, and especially comment. We like the comments. And that lets us know people are watching too. And if you got questions, we're not experts, but we can hopefully answer some of them. If we don't, maybe we can find the answer for you.
Another excellent source for answers is your local extension service.
But anything else you can think of this morning?
Nope. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Well, this is Mark and Rebecca from Cedar Creek Bottoms Farmstead Life. Y'all have a good Labor Day weekend. Bye-bye.
You know, by the time they see this, Labor Day
I know
weekend's
it'll be
coming.
Tuesday, but I still make it. They know when it was filmed.
Okey-dokey. How'd we do?
Oh, it's on. Hello, sister. Me just want to be on camera.
See, I just wanted some attention
Oh,
there.
you
That was
need
all.
them claws.
Sit right on the balls.
A while ago, she was killing me.
I know she was.